Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the United States of America. I was born on July 4th in 1776, conceived in freedom and liberty. And that freedom has brought millions to my shores to cast their economic plight with me. But that freedom has not been cheap. 1 million of my sons have lost their lives in the battlefields of Europe and Asia. Countless families have cried in anguish as they've heard of the loss of a father, a husband, a son or a daughter. But thank God, those lives stood for something. I am big, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, to the northern reaches of Alaska, to the beautiful Hawaiian Islands. I have 3.5 million square miles just teeming with economic opportunity and excitement. I have forests in Oregon, wheat fields in Kansas, oil in Texas, coal in West Virginia. I am the Empire State Building in New York City, the Sears Tower in Chicago, Disneyland in Southern California. I have almost 2.5 million farms that are unequal in productivity on any place on the face of this earth. But if my story is just about fertile land and beautiful cities, you've missed it. Because my story is mainly about people. America has always been a place where people can come to and they have an opportunity and they have a chance. From day one, I've accepted immigrants from every country in the world as constitutional equals. To be a Russian, you have to be born Russian. To be a German, you have to be born German. But to be an American, you only have to say, I desire to be an American. America is always the country that people flee to when running from, in hope or hopelessness, some other place. George Washington was my sword. Patrick Henry was my tongue. John Adams and James Madison were my constitutionalists, and Thomas Jefferson was my pen. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But my story is also a story of a power that goes out to defend and not to conquer, a power that goes out to protect and not to possess. When I see a defeated enemy, I bind its wounds, I feed its people, I give it billions and billions and billions of dollars to restore itself to a place of honor among the nations of this world. A country's character, after all, is determined by the sum of its splendid deeds. I've abolished slavery. I've lifted countless people out of poverty. I've instituted more humanitarian programs than all the countries of the world combined. Now, if you compare that history with both ancient and contemporary societies, America might not be the best conceivable society, but it just might be the best society that's ever existed on this planet. And just to make sure that our walk conforms to our talk, 150 years ago, we had to fight a civil war. 670,000 people killed in that civil war, 50,000 civilians. You can imagine the sadness of Abraham Lincoln as he makes his way to the Gettysburg battlefield. And he comes upon that battlefield where just days earlier, the year is 1863, right in the middle of the war, days earlier, 50,000 men fell in that battlefield. Our country was broken in half. And he delivers the Gettysburg Address, and he ends it this way. So, we highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, will experience a new birth of liberty, and that this government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. He was done. The Gettysburg Address is only 272 words long, 10 sentences. It only took him less than 3 minutes to give the address. There was stone silence. Finally, a man raises his arm. Mr. President, I have a question. Can a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people survive? And Abraham Lincoln answered, I don't know how history is going to speak on America, but I do know that Americans were born to be free.